Mike from Austin, man. Come with it.
Hey, thank you, Kyle. Well, the offensive line is still absolutely our worst unit on the whole team, and they got to get it figured out. They got to get it adjusted where they can work together. And in hindsight, thank God we got a quarterback like Milroe that can scramble and get out of trouble when he needs to, because offensive line is just playing so bad. But Kyle, the big picture, in my opinion, is like you mentioned, we're 2-0, overall score 105-16 or whatever. So we're killing it. Mm-hmm. And I think this past game was kind of a fluke a little bit, to where some of them calls were total BS, Kyle, and all the fumbles. And so I think it was kind of a fluke game, but Bama played a horrible game, and we still won 42-16, as opposed to Oklahoma that played a horrible game and won 16-13. So, yeah. But I think it was kind of a fluke game that we played. Let's not nitpick. Let's not give up hope. I really think it was a kind of a fluke game and crappy calls, untimely, crappy calls. And so it's and fumbles, but thank God we got Jalen Milroe. And I think we're going to kill Wisconsin. That's my take on that game, Kyle.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in, Mike. We'll fly to the next call, and be safe driving out there, and we'll catch up with you next time, all right?
All right, man. Bye.
All right, next up, Chris from New Jersey. Let's do it. Chris, what's up, man? Let's jump right into it. Monday morning quarterback, man. Give me your take on, what you learned or what you're looking forward to coming up next in this Wisconsin matchup in Week 3.
Kyle. Yeah, I have a message for the Milroe hate in the chat, the undefeated, with all due respect. Just shut up already. Give me a break. Let me just say this, okay? I don't want to, Adam is my pal, but give me a break. He's the best quarterback on the team. And let me rant for a second, Kyle, okay? The offense, we're missing Proctor. Booker is a great lineman, but he's a guard, okay? Formby should have gotten yanked out of the game. Now, let me ask you a question. Anybody who knows even this monicum, like the outlet passes, if you can't block them, you screen them, right? So Sheridan, who we all love, had a terrible night. It's not on the shoulders of Milroe, because they didn't give him some outlet passes. And Formby, he's not ready. He wasn't ready. You got to put the other guy in there and play to his strength. Remember how long it took us to put Caden Roberts in the game, and we struggled at right guard, and we put him in there finally? Well, some people play better than they practice. We needed a change-up. There was no change-up. That was Milroe's fault. I mean, and you saw. Look at the grade that Booker got, and he's my favorite player. He's my favorite player. He's he's a guard. He's going to be maybe a first-round draft pick at guard for the NFL. He's struck. Come on. And let me tell you something. There's something that nobody else is talking about, okay? Nobody else is talking about. This was a night where they're naming the field over Saban. Saban's down on the field shaking his head, which I don't blame him, right? But we had the NFL greats in the, they put this added pressure on and our team is young. Domani Jackson may be a junior, but he was a freshman on Saturday night. He was a freshman. You don't think walking around and looking at Julio Jones, I hate to say this, I might be part of the problem. I was naming him Ryan Julio Williams, when the day that he signed, and looking at Julio Jones walking around the sideline. You don't think that messes with? Now, whose fault was it that we were forcing passes into Ryan Williams when clearly Kendrick Law and what's his name? Number 6. Who's number 6? I'm so mad. They were open.
That's Kobe Prentice.
Listen, I know that
Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe Prentice. Oh, Kobe. Sorry, buddy. But listen, to blame this on Milroe, stop it already. It's ridiculous. He's the best. He still could win the Heisman Trophy. We still won the game. We won the game on his arm. We won the game on his feet. This is stuff. It's really ridiculous. Give it a rest already. He's our starting quarterback. None of these other factors. I noticed all these people in the chat. Where's the factors I just said? Where was this? He had outlet passes in the first game. No outlet passes on Saturday night. Was this a good wake-up call? Yeah. Are we going to go in there and absolutely smoke Wisconsin? Yeah. We can get the offensive line fixed. That's going to be a fix, Kyle. No reason to get all worked up here. But stop it with this Milroe. He's the best quarterback. He's our best option to win the national championship. It's a fact. Okay, you don't think he's going to he's getting coached up to, even yesterday he was getting coached up. You don't think even though they're off, you don't think he's getting coached up somewhere about helping him with his reads? This coaching staff is all about development. Every day we're going to get better. You got to get Proctor back in the lineup, and you've got to work on the right. I don't know why it took so long. 75% of the game was gone before they made a change at right tackle. Why are we so slow to make changes? It seems like the old coaching staff. And the defense did play great, but there was a lot. There was a lot to get better at. We'll talk about that another day. I've ranted enough. Leave Milroe alone. He's our starting quarterback. He's our savior. It's enough. So all right. So anyway, there's my rant, Kyle. I'll call you later in the week, brother.
All right.
Everything is going to be great. I love the undefeated. We will. But come, give me a break about Milroe. Roll Tide, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right. My good buddy Chris in New Jersey. All right, 813, you're up next. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? It's Case from Tampa, Florida.
Hey, Case, what's up, man? I appreciate the super chat, man. Thanks for supporting the show. We're getting closer to 11:30, so I got a 2:05 and a 6:09 coming up next. So let's get to the point, and then when we get to 11:30, I'll close the line. Depending on how the press conference goes, I might come back on and take some more calls since it is Monday. People a little hot, but let's get right to it. All right, welcome in, Case. Go ahead, man.
I'll speed run these for you. First of all, that last call, he's 100% right. Milroe is probably one of the best college football players in the nation. So I just want to say he's 100% right on that. But I'll run through these quick. Credit to USF. They played with their hair on fire. We probably did have a lot of pressure on us. They played a great game, but we came out with the win. They're the Bulls, but they got the horns. Secondly, as long as our O-line is healthy, I think we're good. We had a lot of people playing out of position, so we struggled. But other than that, I think we'll be good when we go up to Madison. The offense looks really vanilla, and I think they're doing that intentionally. I think that they're not trying to show a lot of their plays to give away up to, for teams like Wisconsin and Georgia and the higher games. We're playing vanilla on purpose. That's just what I think. Mm-hmm. Second or third, Justin Jefferson is a tough loss. I don't think it was targeting. The ref has the final say if there was intent. I really don't think it was targeting. That's a really tough loss. He made some really, really good stops right before first downs, and he's a really, really good athlete, and it's a tough loss for us. But he'll be back in the second half, so I'm excited to see it. Next, the defensive line needs to do better and get more pressure. Those are my main concerns. Those are my main points. I'll move quick and leave it to that, and roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide to you, Case. Thanks for the support, man. Hey, thanks for calling in. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Adam calling from Georgia. How's it going?
Adam, what's up, man? I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being patient, man. And I know you wanted to get in, so go ahead, man. I know you want to talk Jalen Milroe, and, go ahead, fire away, man.
Thanks, man. I'll keep it brief. I just wanted to respond to Chris from New Jersey, who is an awesome caller and great guy. But here's the thing. Chris calls in and says, with all due respect to those who are criticizing Milroe, shut up. Well, shut up isn't an argument, Chris. Let me explain to you, and this is the last time I'm going to address this. Milroe does not have a pocket presence. He doesn't consistently go through his progressions. He never checks down. He overthrows his receivers. He panics in the pocket and runs far too often, or he holds the ball too long and takes unnecessary sacks. 5 yet again. He has not improved from last year. And I love Jalen Milroe as a person. I think he's a wonderful leader, but he is not a quarterback. And we are not going to win with him. We're not going to win the national championship with him. And Chris, you haven't responded to any of the points I just made. Instead, you just tell people to shut up because you don't want to hear it. When you actually respond substantively to the points that I made, I would be willing to listen and be proven wrong. But at this point, I see the same Milroe from last year, and I see the same result this year, which is we're going to lose if we make it to the playoffs. Thank you for listening to me, Kyle.
Before you go, Adam, and I appreciate it. You know what's interesting though is Adam. I know you and Chris are still friends, so I like the dialogue between you guys. But like, if you call in and you have a different take of somebody, like, have at it, you know. But I like the dialogue. Okay, so Coach Kalen DeBoer, if you're just tuning in, I appreciate you guys being here. He had a lot to say about Jalen Milroe, and so did Nick Sheridan, who, by the way, I agree with you, Adam. Nick Sheridan has learned the art of not saying a lot. He's a future head coach. Literally, sometimes you listen to him and he's like, he dodges almost every question. With that said, a reporter asked him about assessing Milroe through 2 games. He said, it's a learning experience. He wants to talk to him about some of the things that he sees. And Coach Kalen DeBoer had a lot of talk about what he's seen from Jalen Milroe. So if you want to watch that press conference, I just uploaded it again. Adam, anything else? I mean, I showed a slide earlier today, and it kind of highlighted all of the quarterbacks. In fact, I'll bring it up on the additional monitor that I have right here. And these are all the quarterbacks' grades after 2 weeks from the SEC. Tylen Green up to the top left. You have Arkansas 92.4 all the way to the bottom right. Brock Vandagriff 51.1, minimum 100 snaps. That's why DJ Lagway from Florida is not on. Any takeaway from this particular chart right here, Adam? Go ahead.
Well, I saw the chart, but I just saw in the comment box, Chris says, stop, Adam, the offensive line was terrible. And that comment reflects the tendency of all of these people defending Milroe to blame everybody but him, the offensive line, Tommy Rees, the play calling. Well, let me tell you this. Tua, as a true freshman, came into that Georgia game, and on 2nd and 26 threw a pass that won us the national title. Bryce Young was a stud in his first year starting. Mac Jones was a stud in his first year starting. Milroe is continuing to learn. He's in his 4th year in the program. And I love the guy. I want him to be successful. And he's not bad, but he's not great. And that, in a nutshell, is the problem. And Chris, I will shut up after this because I have made points that you cannot and will not refute. And until you do so, there's no purpose in having this debate. But like I said, Kyle, I love Alabama football. I really want us to win. I don't think we'll win with Milroe. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Adam. Thanks for the call, man. We got a
all right, take care.
We got a 865. I think we got Angel. We're going to go up to Pigeon Forge. Angel, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. What's your take on Jalen Milroe? We've been talking about Milroe after 2 games. We've dove into the stats. He has 526 total yards, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. What's been your early assessment after 2 games, Angel? Go ahead.
Okay. Look, yes, I get it. It's against lower competition. I really think we just got to give him more time. It's the season. It's too early to tell because he hasn't played against a better opponent yet, like Wisconsin, that's coming up here pretty soon. I think people are just being overreacting about Jalen early on because this is what happened last year, too, after the Texas game. And the criticism was there and valid, yes, but as the season goes on, you seem him to change its evolution, to evolve all over to the Georgia game because that's what happened. He evolved and he got better throughout the season, and I think people are just overreacting. That's how I feel about it. Yes, there's some misplays, yes, but I'm not going to overreact about it. It's too early to tell because it's a long season, and there's a lot more football being played, and I think people are just being overcritical about it too early because, it's just ridiculous.
Hey, thanks for joining the show. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Mitchell. I'm calling from Texas.
Mitchell, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Mitchell from Texas, man. Come with it. Go ahead.
Okay, there's a couple of things I want to address. And in a way, I agree with Adam. Milroe, he needs to learn to stay in the pocket a little bit more. And his accuracy is not quite there. Yes, he's still learning. But like you said, he's been in this system for 3 or 4 years. And another thing, do you guys really think we're ready for Texas or Georgia right now? I don't think so. Because if that guy from USF could throw the ball, man, they would have had 3 or 4 touchdowns. He just couldn't throw the ball. Our cornerbacks was getting beat. And another thing is, I'm looking at this running game, Run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Just run the ball. Milroe's going to run himself into injury, or he's running himself into a sack. Run the ball. I noticed when Jamari was in the lineup Saturday, the offense was moving. I mean, I'm not saying he's a better running back or Justin Hayes. Justin Hayes better than him, but Saturday, when he was in the lineup, that ball was moving. They was moving downfield. And the defense have got to play better, because when it comes to Georgia, if they have to meet Texas in the playoffs, I don't think we can hold up. I don't, because you got Quinn Ewers throwing that ball, and those receivers going to get open. Those DBs was getting ate up yesterday, and we just didn't have a quarterback to throw in the ball.
All right, thanks for calling. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Michael from Southern California.
Michael, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. Thank you very much for joining us on this fine Monday, September 9th. Come with it, man.
Yeah, no, I just think one of the things, the hiking problems that we had last season, I know a lot of the blame has gone to Seth McLaughlin, but, I mean, I hate to call this out, but, Seth has started 2 games for Ohio State. They had 0 snap problems at all.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't look up was I didn't have access to what his pro grade was after both games, but no fumbles, no snap problems whatsoever. And I look at Bama, I saw both games. We had 2 turnovers, again, from center to quarterback. So, I'm kind of, is it 100% Seth's fault last season? I don't know, because Kyle, we're kind of carrying it over from last season. We're still having those snap problems with Jalen Milroe, so it doesn't bode well for what's happening. A fumble, a turnover every game from center to quarterback, first game, second game. So I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that. I think overall, I think Bama's still fine with, they had their left tackle out and they had to move some things around. So I don't want to overreact after the second game, but I think the snap problems are, it's not 100% attributed to Seth, and that's kind of what I'm seeing.
I appreciate the call. Yeah, you look at some of these problems and you start to look what the common denominator is, right? Absolutely, the fumbled snap was on Jalen Milroe. In this last game, down in the red zone, what were they in, the 30-yard line or something like that? That was on him. Yeah. And, and I was kind of reading the tea leaves. I feel like I read people pretty well. It seemed like Nick Sheridan, even though he doesn't say a lot, and if you missed the offensive coordinator, I'm going to upload it this evening as I package things together. It seemed like I don't think he was completely overpleased with Jalen Milroe. A lot didn't go well, for the offensive line, but a lot of that was on Milroe. He wasn't accurate in this game. His deep ball wasn't there, but, we can't not give credit to South Florida. I thought they were blitzing. Wilcom Formby was getting beat. Milroe wasn't accurate. Their DBs were holding or just playing aggressive football, so a lot to go over with. And I kind of go back to Mitch from Texas who called in. Does anybody out there inside the comment box feel that Alabama's ready for Georgia or Texas right now, today? They got to grow up a lot in this Wisconsin game.
Definitely. Forget about Georgia. I think they got to take care of Wisconsin. But I think 2 more points. One point is I heard a lot of commentary during the game about, they fumbled it with 3 yards on the goal line practically. And, a lot of people were like, why is Milroe under center? No offense, Kyle, for guys that play football. There's elite high school football teams that don't have problems snapping under center. That should not be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why is Milroe under center? He should be a shotgun. This is elite Division I college football, SEC. Hiking the football from center to quarterback under center should not be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
High school, there's Matter Day in Southern California. They don't fumble the ball. They don't fumble the snap under center. I don't, the commentary's like, why is he under center? Why can't he be under center? That's a different look. You should be able to execute that snap. It's mind-blowing, the commentary that I'm seeing. I don't know if it's just casuals that never played football, but center to quarterback snap, that's not a difficult thing to do. And it's not like USF had like a stud nose guard that was blowing up the line of scrimmage on every play. I mean, that is a fundamental play that elite high school teams that play for state championships, you know, Bryce Young's old team, Matter Day, they don't fumble the ball on snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, and then number two, I think whoever is scheming those blitzes at USF and some of those offensive plays that they're running, you know, with not elite talent, they're running over 200 yards against Bama. Kyle, we should hire some of those guys.
Right.
Can you imagine having that scheming ability with 5- and 4-star athletes at Bama? I'm not kidding. We should hire some of those guys that can scheme that out. I was very impressed with USF, the way they ran the ball, the way they blitzed and put pressure on Milroe. I know the offensive line was patchwork. We didn't have our starting, you know, left tackle there, and our right tackle was injured. But
yeah.
I think Kalen DeBoer is a great hire. I think he can coach. I mean, take a step back. I'll just end with this. Kalen DeBoer has beaten Dan Lanning's team every year for the last 2 years.
And
he's 3-0 against Dan Lanning.
And Steve Sarkisian.
People don't know that Washington does not have the NIL collective that Oregon has with all that Nike money.
Mm-hmm.
Kalen DeBoer did that with, you know, a few 4-stars, but mainly 3-star recruits on his roster.
Yep.
And he beat Lanning 3 times.
Yep.
And also, I mean, people say, oh, DeBoer, well, you know, this is the SEC. Last time I checked, he's 2-0 against Stark and Texas. He beat them last year in the college football playoff, but the year before in the bowl game, UW also beat Texas, and that's with, you know, that monster, like, all-American defensive line, 5-stars everywhere, Xavier Worthy on the wing. DeBoer is 2-0 against Stark. So I think Alabama made the right hire. I think they just need to clean up some things, but I don't know, Kyle. I'm not drinking the Milroe Kool-Aid. I know he won the SEC championship game, but these last 2 games doesn't look that great, in my opinion. I'm not trying to hate on him, but I'm just kind of calling it for what it is.
Appreciate the call, man. Thanks for calling out from Southern California, man.